Thank you, and good morning. I'm going to talk today about optimizing lighting for precision broiler breeder feeding system. Over the last decade, manipulating light is being shown that it stimulates growth or reproduction in avian species. That is the case of the green-red light spectrum, which stimulates growth in broilers, and red light spectrum triggers and stimulates reproductive axis. Body weight control in broiler breeders is a very critical factor that we have to manage in order to obtain an optimal reproduction performance in our flock. That's why we came up with our objectives, which is provide 24 hours feed to our pullets from this feeding station, which was developed by Dr. Martin Surov from University of Alberta. And the main idea is that the pullets can access the feed 24 hours, and we find the best light that it won't interfere or impact their sexual maturity. And also we want to determine the best light combination in order to maximize and sustain egg production in the adults. Our methodology, we work with 480 females, rows 708. They were fed ad libitum for the first 2 weeks of age. After that, they were feed restricted, daily feed restricted. We follow the guidelines of the breeders. We have basically two main treatments. Our one treatment was the main light, which was 60% green LED light or 60% red LED light. Our second treatment was supplemental light, which was blue, green, or red color. All of them were LED lights as well. Those lights were provided 24 hours. And they were located over the feeders, as we can see in the pictures below. Our birds were photostimulated at 20 weeks of age in order to find the effects of our treatments on their reproductive performance. As a result, we found that from the supplemental lights, our birds were significantly heavier during the days of 50 and 86 days of age, and between 171 and 210 days of age. This is related with their reproductive performance later on. In terms of our main treatment, which was the main light, our birds under the green main LED light, they were heavier than the red LED light during the first 71 days of age. Regarding egg production, we have a very interesting result that we found that our birds under red supplemental LED lights were significantly delayed in their egg production. That makes sense with the result that I showed you before, that those birds under the supplemental red light, they were heavier because they were not producing eggs. And we found that the birds, they were both delayed in the production, but the ones that were under the red main light, they started laying eggs a little bit sooner than the others from the green main LED light. In overall, the egg production, the birds that were under the main red main light, I'm not talking about supplemental light, they have the higher egg production in comparison to the birds located under the main green LED light. And as a conclusion, we found that the birds under main green LED light were heavier the first days of age until 21 days of age, which is makes sense with some previous studies that they have found that The red-green spectrum stimulates body growth in broilers. Also, we conclude that birds under the main red LED light have a higher egg production regardless the supplemental light, which also makes sense with previous studies that they have found red light spectrum stimulates egg production and triggers a reproductive axis. And our most important conclusion so far for us is that continuous supplemental red LED light significantly delayed sexual maturation, and for that reason we don't recommend this supplemental light, again red as a supplemental, for being used to precision feeding station. Thank you for all our founders and supervisors and helpers from the university. Thank you for your attention.